we know who we are and we know how fast it's growing, is because of the value of the mechanism. It's a new idea. And it's too easy to criticize a new idea. They criticize the electric light bulb, for crying out loud, let alone the radio and everything else that ever was totally functional to people. The question is, investigate it first. We're so happy you're here today to do that, to investigate it thoroughly, to look at this thing and see if it makes any good common sense and if it's good enough for you. And it might be. It might be good today. It might be good a little bit later. That's your decision. Okay, well, I understand why it's working, why it's happening, and so on and so forth. There's one thing that's really bothering me. What's that? The name exit. Why in the world did you ever call it exit? Why didn't you buy a thesaurus, for crying out loud? Why didn't you get a dictionary? There must have been 1,000 other words. Why that one? Okay, you ask questions, right, to find answers. Let's ask you a few questions. Am I correct in saying that the first law of learning is exactly the first law as the first law of advertising? And it has a lot to do with the word repetition, right? Everything you've ever learned in your entire life was try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust, try, fail, adjust, try, succeed, try, succeed, try, succeed. Isn't that right? Yeah. That's how you learn how to tie your shoes, right? You failed a few times at 5 years old, but it was important for you to learn. You kept at it. Now you do it the same way every time, right? That's how you learn how to ride a bike. Did you fall off your bike a few times? Yeah. Can you still remember your crossbar? Can you still feel it? It was a very painful experience for him. Ladies, you can make babies all you want until you're a young guy falling off in that crossbar a few times. You have no idea. It goes right up here. Oh, it is terrible. Every man in the room can feel it right now. Oh, it's terrible. But it was important to him to learn. He hopped back on the bike. Repetition, repetition, repetition. Now look again. Exit is the most highly advertised, most highly visual name in the entire universe. It's above every corporate door in America. Over 1 trillion exit signs strategically located every place you go for the rest of your entire life. It's against the law for them not to have it in this room with us. Look at it, 4 of them surrounding us right now. Try not to notice the exit signs. It's illuminated by law. Our sign shines while our competition's sleeping, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They're the hardest workers. Everywhere you go. So, we went to the government. We asked them simple questions because they work for the government. We said, red means stop, green means go. Why would you ever put a red sign above a door you want them to go through? They got it. They got it. See, we'd already done our homework because we always do our homework. We went to the fire marshal's bylaws all over North America, right through to Japan. And we found out that they could have used red or green. They chose the wrong color in the first place. They're finding in fires today that the red flames are covering up the red exit signs, and people are dying as a result of the utilization of the wrong color. It's being changed right across the continent. So from this point forward, you're going to see green signs, because there are companies, new building and construction, are using green signs. You're going to go through the streets and say, there's a green one, there's a green one, there's another green one. He was right, green ones. You're never going to be able to go to another movie theater ever again for the rest of your life without 2 little exit signs staring you back for 2 solid hours, reminding you which company you should work for. You can never fly in an airplane ever again without the flight attendants pointing out the exit signs. In fact, you can get your own exit seat. You can't even get out of your own computer without pushing the exit button to get out of it. Wow, try not to notice the exit signs. We're the only company in history that's ever taken the time to put exit signs in our competitors' offices with them. You can't even leave your own office without looking up just before you step out on the pavement and say, yeah, he's right, that's where I should be working. Oh my God. It's the most highly advertised, most functional sign. You say, what's it mean? Safe passage. Safe passage. Isn't that true? If there was a fire in this building right now, right here, you'd be looking for an exit sign. A Remax sign will do you no good at all. What a perfect word. What a wonderful word for the real estate business. It's the only positive word in the business, right? The only positive 4-letter word. And it has meaning, and it means that the seller's making an exit, doesn't it? You actually thought, because you're looking through the filter of your own self-image, you thought it had something to do with you. See how real estate agents think. It's all about me. It's not about you at all. It's about the service you can provide for these people. They deserve better service. They deserve better trained agents. They deserve an agent that's more financially secure. That's what they need, and that's what we're going to give them. And that's what we're giving them right across the continent. Customers are really everything, C-A-R-E, aren't they? You know, Sam Walton said it when he built Walmart. He said the customer is the strongest person in the company because they can say no to you and walk out the door, and that's the end of your business. So, we've created a better company for people. It's a people company built by people. It's not built by a corporation for people. It's built by people for people. It was an inventive process. I dreamed it up one morning, 1983. And I said to my wife at the time, I said, you know, the only way you could beat the red, white, and blue, The desk fee concept, it was the latest thing in history, it was the greatest thing going, is to create a company where you could make more than 100% and not pay any desk fees. You say more than 100%? Yes, look at this. You bring in Mary. You're on 70% when you brought her in. Now you're going to get 10% off the top of that, added onto yours. Now it's at 80, but you didn't bring in only her, you brought in Jim. 10 more percent, 90. 10 more percent from somebody else, 100. 10 more percent from somebody else, 110, 120, 130. We got people working in Florida working at 177% of their own gross as a result of sponsoring. So here's the horror story for you people that are on desk fees or deal fees right now. When you wake up in the morning, for the rest of your entire life, you're going to know one thing for sure. 100% or 95%, depending on what you're on, is the most you can earn all day long. At Exit, you can make considerably more than that by helping to build our company, tapping into other people's energies, and utilizing the single-level residual principle. And it's called Exit. And the public really gets it. The public understands this. Here's an example. Think about this for a minute, just as an analogy, metaphor situation. You're a doctor. You just got out of university. And you paid the price of 7 years or 9 years or whatever it was. You borrowed from grandma to go there. But you finally got your degree, and you come into my clinic. And you say, I'd like to work for your clinic. Heard about you? I want to work for you. And I tell you all about it, and we hire you up and everything else, and I say one more thing to you. I say, oh, by the way, we have this special system here. If you happen to bump into another doctor, I've got many clinics all over North America. If you happen to bump into another doctor, I don't care if they're fresh out of school or I don't care if they're experienced, but if you think they'd like to work here, bring them into us, and if we hire them, I'll give you an amount of 10% of their earnings for the rest of the time that they stay with us as a thank you for doing that. Just getting them signed up. And that'll reduce down to a 7% pension plan and a 5% death benefit, a beneficiary benefit. What do you think the doctor would say? Doesn't that open up your mind to what this really means? Let's face facts. Look at it closely. If you brought in 3 people, and just like Mary, they made $70,000 a year, and we paid you, and it works, and everything is hunky-dory from that standpoint, and you're getting 10% of the 70, which is 7, you got 3 people, that's $21,000 extra. Put up your hand if you think that it's probably an important thing that your kids get a good education. Is that true? Is that pretty true? It is, isn't it? I've got 6 kids, 5 of them are boys, you know, and the idea of them getting well educated is an important factor. Would $21,000 coming in as the utilization of other people's energies, you know, would that help to put a kid through school? Doesn't school cost a lot of money? Sometimes $20, $30, $40, $50, $60,000 a year. Now you've got other people helping to put your kids through college. You know, and if it was that $21,000, with $21,000, would that be a nice down payment on that boat you were looking at? Yeah. Would that be a nice new wardrobe for you, $21,000? Yeah. Would that pay off last year's taxes? Should I mention that again? There's real estate agents here. Right? Would that help to pay off last year's taxes? I mean, if there was such a system whereby you could integrate into it, and it's right across the continent, the government supports it, it's growing like wildfire, and you could tap into other people's energies and pay off every bill you've ever had and get everything you've ever wanted with somebody else's money, wouldn't you at least look at it? That's why we've invited you here. Because we found out something about real estate agents a long time ago. As long as you supply the food and the booze, they will follow you anywhere. Now, on behalf of Exit Really Corp International, on behalf of our broker sponsors here today, we're very thankful and grateful that you've taken the time to walk across the street for us. We appreciate it. You didn't have to come here. There's 1,000 other places you could have gone. Something got you into this business. Something got you into this room. And we appreciate the fact that you've taken the time. Now, on behalf of all these great people, I would say one more thing. You've been a great audience. Try not to notice the exit signs. Thank you.
There is no question that you deserve the very best return on your invested time. If what you have heard here today appeals to you, then listen to the CD one more time. These are all valuable ideas, and they deserve complete investigation. Joining Exit Realty is the finest decision of your entire career. You've now taken the first step, and we thank you for that. For more information, go to our website at www.exitrealty.com. You'll be glad you did.